Cool. And we are live. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 9 of Comic Convos. Tonight's guest, we've got Chansler Poole on from WhatNot. He is the partnerships manager. So, welcome back, everybody, and let's welcome Chansler.
How you doing, man?
Hey,
Good to
what's
be
going
here.
on? Awesome. Well, it's a pleasure to have you today. I'm really excited to have you on. We got to talking a little bit. I'm kind of newer to WhatNot. I've only been doing it for the last maybe 3 or 4 months now, but after we got up talking about some other stuff, I was really excited to bring you onto the channel.
Yeah, thanks, man, for sure. Yeah, happy to be here. Happy to talk about whatnot comics to a certain extent as well, and everything we have going on there. So, glad to have you on the platform for a couple weeks. So, want to also hear about your experience and everything in that regard as well. But yeah, happy to be here.
Cool. I really do appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy. You got a big schedule going on. So, everyone in chat right now, typically, this is usually, it's about an hour for these comic convos. He's a busy guy, and we're going to be strictly talking about whatnot tonight. So, it's probably only going to be roughly 30-ish minutes. It's going to be a little bit quicker of a conversation. So, if you have any questions, hold those questions towards the end. We'll give it a little bit of time, for him to answer it. But just getting into whatnot. So, how long have you been with whatnot now?
Yeah, man. So I've been with the company for a little over 6 months now, which in whatnot's time feels like an eternity to a certain
Oh my
extent.
God,
But
it's been crazy.
yeah, yeah, it's been a ride. Even just in the 6 months that I've been there, a lot of things have grown and changed, and we've made a lot of progress. It's been exciting, but yeah. So only 6 months, but still a long road ahead. Hopefully here.
I reached out, I think middle of July. And I'm going to be honest, the app was nothing like it is now. Even in that little bit of time when I
Yeah,
first came on in July, it's exploded. So I can only imagine what it's like on your end. We've got New York Comic Con, all the exclusives and stuff you're doing with Skybound. What's his name? Big Clutch, is that his name?
big clutch. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's going live tomorrow. Yeah.
for another pack break.
Not a pack break, just another Comics Vault live stream. So I think he's been, for the most part, through Skybound. They were doing a stream about once a month, and maybe like the second or third Friday of the month. And so it's that time again. And I know they go into their vault and they pull out
Some cool stuff.
typically some like banger stuff. So like I know obviously a lot of like 9.8s, a lot of signed stuff, and then every once in a while they'll throw in some 9.9s, and I even saw a 10 being auctioned
Really?
off there once, which was wild. Yeah.
I know I was in that last one. Obviously, I didn't buy anything. I couldn't, but it was crazy. That Skybound exclusive with Invincible One, that was one of the most wild auctions I've seen in a while.
Yeah, that was fun to work with them and put together. I mean, we were trying to just debut the exclusive and everything we had been working on with them in a fun way. Something that could just be, unconventional to a certain extent within the community, and just show people another way to, create some hype and do another drop, and have some fun along the way. And we had a lot of giveaways and prizes and different things there. So, obviously wanted to make sure we took care of everyone as well. And yeah, I mean, overall, definitely a success. And, TBD on if we'll be doing more of that kind of stuff in the future. But it was fun to take what works in sports cards and in Pokemon cards in terms of like box breaks. Do what we can and do our best to apply that over to comics, because they're fun, man. It's a blast.
It is. It really was a unique situation because I've never seen something like that as far as comics go. So when I saw that, it's like, oh, this is cool because I already watched it for Pokemon cards and to an extent sports cards. I like my basketball, but that stuff always gets me hyped up. Little mystery boxes, mystery packs. I like to see what people get. So for it to be comic books, that's even cooler to me.
Yeah, for sure. And we didn't even know, because like uh, between myself and then Jack, the team at whatnot, we had
Mhm.
helped curate those pack breaks, and obviously like we had the exclusives that we were getting into some of those. And by the time we sent them off to Sean Big Clutch, like we didn't know what was in which one either. So I'm watching this thing as it's happening. It was even just fun for me to watch and see who got the big hits. And yeah, it was a blast.
It was definitely wild. Like, he started, I think, everything off at $1 and you would see it. It's like $1, boom, 100, 300, 400. It's like, damn. And it was starting to hit, I think 1,500 was the first one or 1,300.
I think that was the first one, and then things kind of like settled down from there, which was expected. But
That's
yeah,
cool.
man. I mean, it's yeah, it was a fun way, and we're going to be definitely doing more events in the future. I know, obviously, like with us being at New York Comic Con, we were able to have a lot of our sellers there. streaming from our own booth, which was really
That's
cool.
cool.
And we were able to give them, some exclusives to be able to drop and just provide to the community as well. And so, yeah, we'll do our best to, keep the community up to date with, future times that they'll be able to get some of these, and TBD on some other stuff we're working on in the pipeline at the moment. But yeah, man, I mean, we should do it again, but TBD on when.
Time's coming. Are you guys going to be at Baltimore Comic Con?
We won't be having a booth presence there, but Jack DeMeo, who's with us, is actually, he flew out there today,
Sweet.
and I know we have a handful of sellers that are going to be out there as well. I think Phil from Comics, Toys, and Cards. I might have mixed that up, but I think he's out there, and he was great. I got to meet him in New York, so not sure if you know him, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna have some sellers out there as well.
Awesome. So if you guys, chat, everyone that's going to be watching, if you're going to be in the area, make sure you go check out, Baltimore Comic Con, stop by, say what's up to those guys. And all of, Chancellor's info is in the description down low, the link to WhatNot. Make sure you go download the app. It's an awesome app, for buying, selling. But if you guys don't know exactly what that is, we've got the partnerships manager right here. Can you explain to everyone who doesn't exactly know what WhatNot is in your own words?
Yeah, for sure. So it's definitely a novel shopping experience at the moment. It's pretty new. Essentially, you can think of it as live shopping, but at the moment, right, it's almost like Twitch meets eBay, in the sense of, you have live streams with sellers like yourself, Alec, or other people, whether they're at cons or whether they're at home, live streaming from their phone, almost in a QVC style, auctioning off everything in collectibles, from comics to Pokemon cards, sports cards. Buyers can participate in these auctions right on the app, kind of peruse through the shows and the different categories of products that excite them, and, things that they're into. And there's also functionality for sellers to, offer the same things under Buy It Now. Very auction heavy at the moment, but definitely an opportunity for people to, kind of go on there and also list a lot of what they have available, and kind of show it off in a live stream format.
Cool. Definitely. Seriously, guys, definitely check it out. You buy comics, either it's on eBay, you go through Instagram. This truly is a nice, safe way to do it. I sell my books on there. I buy books on there as well. It's just so easy going to truly buy something on there. You just put in your info. You don't have to go out there and deal with people trying to pay up. I hate sending those messages out like, hey, are you good to pay some money today? Nah, can you do it on Friday? The money goes through immediately. I haven't gone back to any other app since I started doing on WhatNot. So I really do appreciate, me being able to sell on there. It does mean a lot to me, especially because this
Yeah,
is my full-time job now.
Yeah, for sure, man. And so, like, I think you hit the nail on the head, just in terms of, I think it is really important for us to build not only a safe experience, but an experience in terms of the marketplace where the integrity is very high,
Mhm.
right? Which is why we monitor and make sure that, if people are selling, it's legit, and, they're good sellers. They're going to ship things out safely, and at the same time, buyers have their credit card link, so it protects sellers, and then we can provide support, if there's ever something, whether as a buyer or seller, if someone has an issue or someone needs something. But that's, I mean, I would love to hear how your experience has been as a seller on WhatNot. Or, I mean, how many streams have you done up to this point now?
I think I'm up to 8 or 9. So when
Okay.
I first got approved, I think it was the beginning of January, the middle of January, or not January, July, when I got approved, and I was at home visiting my family. So obviously I didn't have anything. And honestly, I think I got approved like the day I got there. So I was home visiting fam for about a month.
Okay.
I came back, got everything situated, and pretty much the start of maybe the middle of August is when I really started going on it. So it's probably been once a week, sometimes twice a week. And it really is just, what everything we've talked about as a seller, down low in the right bottom corner, there's a tag button, and everything that's going to be going up that day, you can put exactly what it is. And then you can also add a description. So you can use your best guess, maybe a, near mint minus, near
Right.
mint, approximate. And, as a buyer, then on the flip side, they can click on that, look at it, and say, you know what, I'm interested in this book. And the new thing that you guys added on there as well is the pre-auction bid. So say you can't stick around, say you don't want to wait for that book to come up, you can put your max number on there, and you can just go about your day. And then maybe if you won, you won. If you didn't, you did it. But you have all these options now. It's just been so smooth. I haven't had a problem with anybody. And the other really cool thing that I like about using that app as well is instead of doing the Instagram auctions that I used to do, there's always a delay, and we would use our phones. We would have the sand thing that you would turn
Yeah, like
over.
this timer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little timer.
Yeah.
And it would go off on our side, and then a couple comments would come in and say, "Hey, I bid this, I bid this." Well, you know what? It didn't happen on my end. There's no lag, no delay. If you join these auctions, it pops up immediately. A comment pops up immediately, and your bids go through automatically. And there's no sniping. I think you can turn that off though, so that there is no the plus 10 seconds. So I think you can turn that off. I haven't seen a lot of people do that, but if you do turn,
Sniping.
yeah, if it comes
Yeah.
down to the last couple seconds and you're like, you know what, I'm going to throw a couple extra bucks on there, time gets added back onto the clock so that, that doesn't happen to you. You can figure out if you want to put some more money down. It's a really nice way to purchase and sell books on there. I haven't had any
Yeah.
negatives.
Yeah, for sure, man. I appreciate it. And, if you do come across issues or have feedback or ideas, I try to be upfront with all of our sellers. Like it's not perfect. It's a work in progress. We want to continue to build tools and features that allow sellers and buyers to come together and just provide an awesome experience. And so we have a lot that we want to add and continue to add to make it a better experience, but always welcome to feedback, man. So even if you have recommendations, anything. I think what's exciting too, for those who don't know, beginning this week and then rolling into next week, uh, we're actually pushing out a pretty big update. And this was initially an update that kind of had a test run about a month ago, give or take. And then the tech team had been, continuing to develop and like work on the new app. But what's exciting is the new app build is going to just allow the app to continue to scale, right, in a way that it can support a lot more users, provide a better experience. Everything, of course, is going to be real time, like you had mentioned in terms of the video. The video quality should get continue to improve when you go into a stream. Hopefully, I know some people have mentioned, I'll see the preview or I won't see anything, but I can hear them talk. Like I think a lot of those types of things is as the company continues to mature, we continue to hire and build out our engineers and product team. They're doing an awesome job, but I think a lot of that stuff's going to be taken care of. And so excited for people to get that app, that update when it comes out this next week.
Cool. So that's, happening pretty soon then. Next week?
Yeah, some people
Roughly?
might already have it. Yeah, it's going to be rolling out in small batches, and again,
Cool.
that's controlled just to ensure that the app's stable and that we can continue to hold that level of the experience that you've had so far. And so, work in progress though, man. It's exciting. We have a lot of things we want to do, but yeah, man. I would love to hear, like, in terms of if you have ideas for anything else that would be helpful, or like I know you mentioned the pre-bidding thing has been super helpful, but yeah, hit me with anything you got.
That's crazy because you're talking about an update and all the problems that you said that were happening, those were actually my problems. Like, I had audio
Yeah.
issues. It got a little laggy and I would have to back out and I would do it again. And I think the last auction, or maybe the last two auctions, I don't know if I did get maybe the early rollout for the update, but everything felt super quick. And I was like, wow, I got a little bit older of a phone here. I'm rocking, I think, an iPhone 10, and
Okay.
I have no problems with it. The last auction went extremely smooth. I went for, I think, about 2.5 hours, maybe even
Cool.
3 hours. I didn't back out once. No one complained about audio, and it's been working really well for me on my end, at least.
Yeah,
So
for sure, man. Well, we're excited for what's coming down the line. For those who don't know, and this is a little bit of history on WhatNot, have you noticed how there's a marketplace where you can buy? Hey, what's up, Skeff? Where you can buy like Funko Pops and things that aren't on a live stream.
mhm.
That marketplace was actually built out prior to the live stream function, that everyone's familiar with at this point. And since then, we haven't like really focused on it a ton. We were really just trying to make sure we built a great experience on the live stream aspect. But that marketplace is definitely going to get a facelift, and we're excited for it to eventually be able to support comic books, all of the other categories of items that you currently can find live streams for. And I think, like, even just having that and better education around these books, and pictures in the listings if you want them, and just there's a lot of additional small tweaks that I think can just continue to improve that experience.
I mean, in due time, you guys are killing it right now. I know it didn't start off with comic books. That's kind of a newer thing, correct? Within this year, I believe.
Yeah, so we launched comic books, started to bridge that gap in May. So 5 6 months now, give or take. Uh, yeah, I mean, comic books was definitely not the first category. So it started with Funko Pops last year in the Funko and toys community. And then Pokemon cards were launched late last year, like different trading card games, but Pokemon mainly. And then sports cards was launched earlier this year. And yeah, sports cards has definitely been, uh, a pretty big category for the app. It really exploded in popularity, I think, again, just due to the nature of pack breaks, and obviously there's just a lot of sports fans out there. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's been a huge category for us. But at the same time, comics launched in May. Uh, we continue to bring in team members to try to do the best we can to launch into these other categories, and again, do it the right way. Like we didn't just want to try to throw everything at the wall when we launch into these categories and just see what sticks. So they brought me on to help launch comics. We continue to hire other people to launch into other trading card games. We're just launching into like retro video games, which we're very excited about. But
Nice.
continuing to build the team so that we can try our best to do it right the best we can. And there's no better way to start when you're trying to figure that out than just talking to the community, right? So there were some other YouTubers that I had the opportunity and pleasure of meeting with and coming on some of their shows. There were, people that had been longtime sellers in the space, whether they were selling on Instagram, selling on, YouTube, selling on eBay, comic book shops, and just the opportunity, not even to really, pitch them in a sense on, the benefits of whatnot, but really just try to understand, hey, what's important to you? How's your experience been, selling comic books? Where's the community live? Like, what's important to them? Are there pain points that we can help try and solve for? Like a lot of that kind of stuff. And I think that's where, coming from leadership top down at the company, with them just also being into collectibles and kind of getting it in a certain extent, it's important to have those conversations. And I think, I attribute a lot of the success that we've had in those categories to just us really trying to, with a genuine effort, like actually provide value to the specific categories, because every category is different, man. As I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
like
Oh
sports,
yeah.
there's nuances there, and yeah. So I mean, yeah, I know it was a mouthful, but yeah, I mean,
No, that's good.
comics, yeah, comics is still definitely up and coming, definitely not as mature as like sports.
The sports cards blows my mind. Every time I click on that category, it's almost every seller has an insane amount of people in there, and they're all just, they're loving it. Maybe not everyone's purchasing stuff, but they're watching it open. And comics has definitely grown just from the time that I started selling to where it's at now. I mean, hell, the app itself it feels completely different than when I first started. I'm not saying it was like clunky, but you rolled out these updates, you brought in some more people, you hired more people, and the expansion of whatnot just it exploded overnight. When I first started hearing about it and people were promoting it, it was like, yeah, I'm selling on whatnot. And I was like, I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah,
Like,
you're like, what
and
is
then,
this? Yeah.
yeah, I was like, I sell on eBay. I sell claim stuff on Instagram. I'm not swapping over that. Like, I'll just put it on eBay. And then it just the next day, all these people start posting about it. I thought, you know what, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to, see what it's all about. Right off the bat, it was night and day. There was no way I was going back to any of those other platforms to sell on. So to me, this is strictly at this point what I sell on.
Yeah, no, that's cool feedback, man. And yeah, hopefully we can continue to support you. And like I said, just build more tools that allow you to move different types of books, or like whatever else you might have, or whatever else you get into. But yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I think a lot of the growth over the past couple months, specifically, like obviously we closed our Series C round of financing, which we announced last month, and I think that was like really big for us, because that allows us, one, not only to continue to hire people that are passionate about really trying to make this thing a success, and continue to grow it, but we can put some real resources behind marketing initiatives. And like you mentioned, us being at NYCC, there's a lot that goes into that, right? And so having the resources to be able to pull off something like that, and continue to do things like that to really, get the word out about the app, educate people where we can, develop like future partnerships and continue to grow. I mean, yeah, no, we're definitely still going to be in growth mode for quite some time, and yeah, excited about it.
And that's crazy that you guys are, just you speaking. It's like, yeah, we're in growth mode. We're doing this. But in reality, when you're talking about you were at New York Comic Con, I don't know if you saw their pictures, their videos, the exclusive they had Kanto exclusives. They had a wrestling ring. You guys, in my opinion, I mean, I saw a bunch of pictures, but there's no doubt in my mind that you clearly were kind of taking over New York Comic Con. There's no way that you guys weren't the biggest group of people there, in my
It
opinion.
it was uh it was mania, man. Whatnot mania. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know what else to say
insane.
about it. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but even for me personally, it was really eye-opening, right? Because again, I'm very upfront with people like yourselves in the community. Like before Whatnot, I didn't have a background in comics. And so it's even been a blast for me the last 5 or 6 months, really just learning the space and the intricacies, and learning how exclusives and variants work, and how all just the artist alley experience. And there's just so much that goes into it. That to the outside, all I ever knew was some of the superhero movies that I had watched. And so going to something like New York Comic Con for me was, like I said, just eye opening. To just see and I know this year was even scaled back. Like, man, I can't even imagine like the
Right?
amount of people that get into this genre and are passionate about this space. It's cool, man. So yeah, I mean, and even beyond that, like even like the other categories, right? And it's just like that's why I think collectibles work in terms of helping to launch something like Whatnot, because each respective category is so passionate. So whether it's comics or whether it's sports or whether it's literally like anything else, like Pokemon, right? Like there's conventions for all of this stuff, like
Mhm.
sneakers, uh, and yeah, it's the same type of stuff across the board, but it's crazy.
So I mean, I know obviously you've got, like you said, Pokemon, collectibles, Funko, sports cards, now comic books, you're moving into some other stuff as well. How did kind of all that go about? You got New York Comic Con, obviously you have to set that up. You have to set, this is what we're planning on doing. How did you go about getting those exclusives then? And just the things that you did there, what goes into, that whole process?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of work, right? It definitely takes a team. I certainly wouldn't take credit for all of that, right? I have, other people within the company that I work closely with, and they did a lot in terms of designing out what that space is going to look like. And we worked with Stash Loot and our partners to help. They were tremendous in helping us put that on, and there's just a lot that goes into that. Jack had been amazing in terms of helping figure out and orchestrate. Hey, like. We should maybe consider doing a New York Comic Con exclusive, right, and having some books there. So we had previously had the creators of Kanto, David and Drew on Whatnot, and they had experienced the platform and did a stream, and so it was exciting to be able to partner with them and actually produce a New York Comic Con exclusive that we could drop there. And yeah, and again, that's where I feel like everyone has their strengths, and having Jack is a critical part of the team here. Working alongside myself, I feel extremely extremely lucky to have someone like him who knows the space and can really bring value in the sense of understanding like what's going to be impactful to the community, and what are people going to want and get excited about and do things like that. So I mean, again, I think everyone kind of like uh, does what they can in their own lane, and and really takes a team to pull something like that off. And yeah, was glad it was able to turn out the way it did.
Cool. I mean, I wish I was there. I wish I saw it all in person. I was supposed to be there this year, but it didn't pan out in that
Oh, for
favor.
real?
Yeah, I was supposed to
Yeah.
go home and help my local comic shop in Allentown, and they said if you fly back, we'll get you a weekend pass. You can help us set up and then just hang out for the day, and then help us tear down and just do it all 3 days. Didn't pan out that way. They didn't need my help, but
Yeah, no, it's
next
it's
year,
okay,
well,
man. What's the if you can't say it live on air, I'm just curious on the comic shop because I have family out in Allentown actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It's called The Encounter.
Okay.
That's my LCS. That's where I love going when I'm back
Okay.
home.
Cool.
They have if any of you guys in chat are gonna be watching or from the area, they have literally everything. They do a lot of online sales, but the in-store, they got hardcovers, all the new comic books, pretty much everything that you could think of from, New Comic Book Day. They've got statues, and whatever they don't have, they are more than willing to go out of their way to try to order it as well. Super nice guys, very helpful. Definitely check them out if you're ever in the area. That's cool you got family out in Allentown too, though. I know you're a Pennsylvania guy.
Yeah, for sure, man. Pittsburgh, raised in Pittsburgh, man. So that's really where my roots are set. So we have some other people at WhatNot too that are from Pittsburgh. So a lot of 412 in the house. So yeah, love it.
I'm all about that 610.
For sure. I very familiar, very familiar.
Cool though. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but I mean, because I know you said your thing really isn't comic books. You know some of the other stuff a little bit better, but just getting that exclusive for Kanto. Kanto's a huge book right now. Like very popular. I know it got optioned. And so to see you guys actually get an exclusive for something that's super hot like that, that was really cool too.
Yeah, no, it was fun, man. And David and Drew are great. They're great partners. We really enjoyed being able to work with them, and are looking to after we kind of wrap up the back end of NYCC and everything with them, really just continue to work with them and do more stuff like that. And so, yeah, again, we'll tip my hat to Jack on helping put that together. And obviously, it takes a team, but yeah, no, it was great, man. And I was able to take one on a plane and kind of flip through it myself. And yeah, it's a great story.
Nice. Now, I know we are kind of getting a little bit towards the end. I know we wanted to keep it around 30 minutes. So, these last couple minutes, if anybody has any questions, this is the time to do it. I know some people kind of put it in chat. Re-put them in there super quick. If you got any questions about whatnot, just for Chancellor specifically, this is the best time. And I know there was at least one that I was looking to
Yeah, I was gonna
check
say
out.
while we're waiting for this to roll in, I think Skeff had asked if we're going to be at C2E2.
Yes.
We will 100% be there. It's just going to still a question mark on the presence. So we don't know, is it going to be a New York Comic Con level of presence, or will Jack, myself, and maybe some other team members, kind of just be there physically and kind of like walking the floor and just meeting people there. And again, I live in Chicago, so easy for me, obviously, to get there. It's right in my backyard, so I'll personally be there for certain, but still TBD on exactly what that's going to look like. I would say the same thing for Emerald City, out on the West Coast. Yeah, so we're also looking at that and TBD on exactly what that presence will look like, but definitely plan to at least be there in person.
Cool. We got another one. We got one from Michael. I'll put it up there. Will there be changes to improve payment turnaround time for sellers?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely been voiced by sellers for sure. We definitely want to continue to build resources, I think, on the seller side that provide sellers with, a better dashboard and just better insights into their own sales and better tracking. So just TBD, I think a lot of the engineering and a lot of focus had been first and foremost on just the entire rebuild of the app, because again, building it completely in house, we wanted to just make sure it was built in a way that like I said earlier, it's going to be able to scale, that we're going to be able to continue to make additions and, changes and updates, as we continue to scale. And so obviously, whether it's payments and payment turnaround for sellers, seller dashboards, just giving sellers tools altogether, not having to upload products into the stream every single time, a lot of that kind of stuff. We'll have a lot more bandwidth to be able to focus on a lot of that, after this app gets rolled out over the next couple weeks. So, expect some updates throughout the rest of Q4, and then, really looking to provide a lot more tools and a lot more resources into next year.
Cool. Now, I'm not gonna lie. That was one of the things that I initially thought too when I first started selling on the app. I thought, like you really got to wait. But at the same time, when you really think about it, imagine shipping something out, you get paid for it, and then maybe the package comes back to you. And if you are, kind of a shitty person, you could kind of turn around and say, well, it's out there. I don't know. you could lie about that. And then now all of a sudden you have payment. You don't exactly have to worry about getting it back out. And, there's like room for people to just kind of do bad things about that. So I totally get you need to approve that the seller actually got that or the buyer
Yeah,
actually got it.
I'm sure like when the trust and safety team is looking at these types of questions and trying to come up with better solutions, I'm sure they're like considering a lot of that kind of stuff. And yeah, again, I think like again, I'm not pulled in those details. Uh, what I can say for certain is that we are very focused on trying to provide all the tools that we can.
Mhm.
We want to provide the best experience not only to sellers but to buyers as well, right? For people to come together and do their thing, and then we want to get out of the way. So like you might sell your comics and run your shows, uh, Alec, in a little bit different way than Scaff or maybe
Yeah.
some of the other sellers, and that's completely okay. But we want to give you guys tools at the end of the day to kind of like pull in, uh, choose from, if you will.
Cool. If you got time for one more question, we got one final one from Skeff.
Yeah, we're good.
Cool. Will there be a rewards program, i.e., like eBay Bucks?
Yeah, definitely on the docket for Q4. Still very vague in the sense of what I know about it at this point. I know the team has just looked into how can we provide better referral programs, reward buyers that are coming into the app. Um, you know, there's there's not even an opportunity to give someone a gift card like you can on Airbnb or like anything else like that. So I mean, again, I think a lot of that stuff is definitely stuff that we want to roll out, and even allow sellers to be able to give maybe a discount to their buyers, or to be able to give back, and like all of that kind of stuff. So I mean, again, I think these are all good questions and all good things that we certainly want to keep on the radar. And I certainly can't speak to specifics at this
Mhm.
point, but uh, again, what I do know is that this kind of stuff is on the radar. It's important, and again, once this new app is rolled out, we'll be able to revert focus and change direction a little bit to looking at some of this kind of stuff.
Awesome. Well, that was the final question. Thank you so much for your time today. Like, I know you're a busy guy. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I know before I hop too, I'm excited to be working with you. I think we have a fun show, and maybe a video or two that's going to be coming alongside a big WhatNot stream. If you want to let your audience know about that.
Cool. Yeah. So I've actually been, talking. Obviously, Chancellor's been going back and forth for a little bit, but I don't want to say the wrong verbiage, but it's we kind of got in a little sponsorship thing going on. I'm gonna be, doing a nice little video. I'm gonna be going to comic shops, showing off some of the stuff that I pick up there, and that's gonna end up turning into basically an auction. But I'm still trying to, hammer out the details on how the type of auction I'm gonna be doing. I know I've been talking to you a little bit about what I would like to do, but I mean, overall, I'm just really excited,
Yeah,
for this opportunity to basically, be sponsored by Whatnot. Only
yeah, for
sponsorship
sure.
I've ever had, and it's really cool.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, we're happy to be a sponsor of the channel. You've been growing a ton, putting out a lot of good content, and so yeah, happy to do it, man. And hopefully with that and being able to go to some local comic shops, you can find some cool stuff, and bring it to Whatnot and bring it to the community, and have people sharing that. So yeah, man, excited about it, and yeah, I'll definitely be at the show first and foremost. I know that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And on that note, thank you again, everybody. Thank you, chat, for coming to hang out. Make sure, like I said, everything is in the description. Whatnot website, all of his important info, all of the Whatnot Instagrams. Go follow them. Go check out the C, because I mean, you guys follow me. I'm comic books, but there's so much other cool stuff on there. I watch Pokemon all the time now. It's insane. But they got Pokemon cards. We talked about it already. Go give it a follow. Go sub up to their channels and stuff. And on that note, thank you again, Chancellor, so much for taking time out of your busy day. I really do appreciate it. And have a good night, everybody.
Awesome, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.